Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the video. I hope your day is going great. Mine's been pretty fun, and today we have a really cool video. So first, we are going to be talking about the new Atlanta team, which we haven't covered at all yet on my channel. We did talk a little bit about the new Guangzhou, or however you pronounce it, the new Chinese team, and we're going to get a little bit into that one. We'll mainly focus on the Atlanta spot and then other spots that might be sold, because Atlanta came out of nowhere. I honestly did not expect that at all. Honestly, I was so surprised to see Atlanta. If there was going to be another American team, I really thought it would be at least Chicago or Seattle. Like, Atlanta again. There's a decent amount of people there, but it's not like a massive esports hub or anything. So big shocker to me. Maybe the owners really just wanted to be in Atlanta. We're going to cover who they are later. And just also, like, where's Paris? There was leaks that Paris was supposed to be coming in, and we haven't heard anything about it yet. So maybe we're still waiting on that deal, but we need some more European teams. We're going to talk all about it in this video. I know I was going to do part 2 today for the trades that teams need to get in order to be better for season 2, but unfortunately I wanted to do this video. Atlanta is just so big, so we're going to focus on that. I will do that one tomorrow though, guys, I promise. Now, if you're excited for this video, guys, be sure to drop a thumbs up on it. And if you're new around here and you enjoy daily Overwatch League content, this is definitely your channel, so click that subscribe button. And now, let's go ahead and hop into the video. Alright, so yesterday, Slasher leaked on Twitter that the Atlanta and Chinese team would be announced yesterday. Some people were a little upset because it wasn't announced yesterday and thought maybe, ooh, Slasher got something wrong finally. Well, he just got the date wrong by a very small margin. It was announced today. This was posted on the Overwatch League website. We just crowned the London Spitfire as our first champion, and now new competition is on the way for 2019 season. Today we welcomed 2 more teams, Atlanta and Guangzhou, into the Overwatch League. The Atlanta team is owned by Cox Enterprises, a leading communications, media, and automotive services company. Atlanta Esports Ventures, a partnership between Cox and Province Incorporated, will operate the team. The Chinese team, Guangzhou, is owned and operated by Nanking Group, a financial and entertainment conglomerate and owner of Guangzhou Long Lions of the Chinese Basketball Association. Official team names, marks, and rosters will be revealed at a later date. We know Atlanta and Guangzhou have deeply engaged fan communities, and we can't wait to unveil their teams, said Nate Nancer, commissioner of the Overwatch League. As the league continues to grow, we're looking forward to seeing more talented pros in action as more roster spots open up, also said Nate Nancer. Now, this is what the Overwatch League said. PC Gamer actually did an interview with one of the owners of the Atlanta spot. Let's go ahead and hop into that. Paul Hamilton, the president and CEO of Atlanta Esports Ventures, told us ahead of the announcement that existing teams will come into Season 2 with the benefit of experience, but he expects his Atlanta outfit to be competitive right from the start. I think we are at a disadvantage, but that's because we have a lot of things we need to do. But we have also been able to watch what's worked and what hasn't worked from the other teams, Hamilton said. What's so neat is watching different owners come at this in a different way. The 4 or 5 teams that were successful were such a blend of from scratch and endemic teams, a mixture of both. So I think that we are just slightly behind, but we're not a major disadvantage. And then Pete Velastica, president and CEO of Activision Blizzard Esports League, pretty much echoed that statement and said that the owners behind roughly half of the teams that took part in Season 1 did not have any previous esports experience. He said this as well. When we announced them, a lot of people said that these guys were going to get destroyed by endemic teams that we were working with. But if you look at the finals, one of the teams is a long-standing endemic organization, Cloud9. That's behind the London Spitfire, and the other group is Comcast, which is an organization not that different from Atlanta Ventures partner Cox Enterprises, Valesta said. When we announced Comcast, people thought that they didn't stand a chance to compete. Here they are at the grand finals. I think that speaks the fact that we are very early in this industry and there's not one way to do anything. Hamilton said the Atlanta ownership group is focused on creating the best team rather than picking up big name individuals and hoping they mesh. And it's already working on a ton of ideas to cultivate and engage the fan base in Georgia. He also dismissed a suggestion that the Atlanta curse, which has taken a toll on the Braves and Falcons and Hawks, will strike the city's Overwatch League team too. I don't believe in curses, he said. We're going to create a great deal of love between the city and our sports organization. We're going to do everything we can to win. So there we go. We got some words from the owner of the Atlanta spot, and he said it himself. He's not going to go out there and try to pick up big names, whether it's streamers, whether it's like a star player from another team. They're going to go and try to get the best players. And I know you guys probably don't want to hear this, but the fact of the matter is that's probably going to be a team full of Koreans. If he's saying right now that his only goal is to win, then you must get a Korean roster. Sure, you can pick up some, Western players from Europe, maybe an NA player, look a little bit like the Philadelphia Fusion, who did end up making it very far. But then there's also those bumps that you have to think about that Philadelphia Fusion did have throughout the season. Yeah, they made it to the final at the end of the day, but throughout the season, they weren't always the best team, and they were usually middle of the pack, very inconsistent. And a lot of that was due to language barriers. If they can go ahead and pick up a full team of Korean players like X6 Gaming, let's say they do this, they go and they pick up X6 Gaming, the entire roster, and then they go and pick up the entire roster of Runaway. They do exactly what the London Spitfire did. If they copy that formula, there's no reason why they wouldn't be a top 6, a playoff team next season. There's no reason they wouldn't be. As long as they get the right coaches, that team would be great. So that's just my prediction for the Atlanta team. I really do think it's going to be a ton of Koreans. There could be a few Western players, depending on if they want to, split the language barrier, which I don't think they would. I think they're going to go full Korean. Unfortunate, but that's the way it's going to go. What is fortunate is that there is more teams coming in. There's a Chinese team coming in who will hopefully pick up the good Chinese players, which Shanghai didn't do last season, and hopefully from these other 4 teams that are supposedly still coming, some of them will pick up some NA players and Western players. I could imagine if the Paris team actually does happen, if the deal is true, which I assume it is, they will probably pick up some Western players, a few European players. I could see that team being more of a mixture of Koreans and Europeans, because they still want to stay kind of true to Paris and French. We could see some French players, which there is a really strong community for French Overwatch. They have a lot of good players. It's possible for them to get some of them and then some Koreans. That could easily work out. All right, so now that we've gone a little bit over Atlanta, who owns it, the Chinese team, we went over them a little bit before. Let's go ahead and talk more about those actual cities that should get a spot, because I was so taken off guard by this Atlanta team. And I'm not the only one who thinks this. The Game Hoss, they did an article which was really cool to read about cities. They were completely shocked that Atlanta got a spot, and for them, just like me, it throws Chicago, it throws Seattle pretty much out of the picture. Are they really going to get another North American team? Because the Overwatch League, Blizzard, they already expressed that 9 of the 12 teams are already in America, and 11 guys of the 12 teams are owned by American owners. So the odds of getting another American team, I know there's 4 spots, it just seems so unlikely now that Atlanta is in there. I did see like Chicago coming in, maybe Seattle coming in, Atlanta completely off my radar. So I was shocked by that, but that also means maybe there is room for another crazy pick. Maybe Las Vegas will get a team, maybe Phoenix, something weird like that. But I have to say, Toronto must get a slot now. If Atlanta got a spot or another USA team, there needs to be one in Toronto. There has to be. Canada is so big on esports. They're absolutely massive, and they're probably a big percentage of Overwatch League viewers and Overwatch players in general. There's a lot of Canadians in the league, so I'm pretty sure they want a team. So to not see Canada get a team for Season 2, I'd be shocked. I'd be mad. I think the fans should be mad. It's such a huge hub, and it'd be a disappointment. So that's pretty much it for Canada. And then looking at the rest of the world, another Chinese team. That caught me off guard a little bit. I did say there could be another Chinese team. I wouldn't be too surprised, but I do think there would be one in like Southeast Asia or another Korean one before there's another Chinese team. So talking about Korea, that leaves Busan sitting there. They got to get a team. I don't see a world where the country that just is known for esports, they basically built it for us, they paved the way, only has one team going into the second season when half of the league is Korean. The team that won the Overwatch League Championship Season 1 is Korean. I just don't see them getting another city. Busan has to be the next big target. As well as that, we go back to Europe. I mentioned this. Paris should be getting a spot. It was leaked. Hopefully they do. But other than that, there needs to be other spots as well. Berlin, Stockholm, Spain, Portugal, somewhere there needs to be another spot in Europe. There must be at least 2. I want there to be 3. Going into the Overwatch League Season 2, there needs to be at least 3 European spots, and there needs to be 2 Korean spots, 2 Chinese spots, and maybe 1 Southeast Asia, maybe Australia if we're lucky. But like honestly, I'm American. I live in the USA. And I don't want any more USA teams. There's enough. They need to spread it out in the world. It needs to be a more global league, like they said. All right, so that's enough about the teams and the cities. I'm super excited. I bet you guys are excited. And the last thing I want to talk about is just how many are there going to be? Because if there's already 2 announced and then apparently Paris is coming in, that's a total of 3. So that means we could possibly have 3 more coming in. I feel like they will sell as much as they can. And that could be up to 9, maybe even 10 teams. Right now we're sitting at 12 plus 6, that's 18. Why not make the goal 20 or 22? That would be super exciting, and then they could get another American team. Then they can get a Canadian team. They can get a Korean team, Southeast Asia, Australia. All these huge cities can actually get teams. And I feel like the first season was a huge success. Over 800,000 concurrent average viewers on the Overwatch League finals. Why not? I think we could do it, guys. Let me know down below if you guys are excited for this. Be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to my channel for more daily